So I just got back from camp yesterday and I am now able to be back on the internet. So I've missed you guys and I'm back! Hello lovely people, my name is Nicole and today I am doing my June book haul. I'm sorry, I know this is a little bit late. Like I said, I was at camp and so I did not have internet access for that last week of July. My camera's dying, so I don't have a ton of time to do this, so I'm gonna try and go super fast. Alright, so let's just jump right in. So the first books I have are Yolo, Juliet and Seriously Hamlet. These are part of the OMG Shakespeare series, and these are just funny, random retellings of these two Shakespeare stories via instant messaging and like social media, and they're random and funny and not something that I think would be taken too seriously, but I found them mildly entertaining, so I picked them up. I've read Seriously Hamlet, and I will talk about that in my wrap-up. The next book I got was College 101, A Girl's Guide to Freshman Year by Julie Zellinger. This is it's exactly what it says on the cover. It's just a, guide to surviving your freshman year of college. You don't know, I'm going off to college this fall, so I'm very excited to read this so I can maybe not flail and completely have a horrible time. Next, I got Very Good Lives by J.K. Rowling. This is just a really short book that's actually a speech that she gave at the Harvard graduation a couple years ago. It's very inspirational. I talked about it in my wrap-up. Sorry, my camera battery died, so I have now charged it and changed my clothes. So that's why the angle is probably a little bit different than it was 5 seconds ago. But now I'm in an entirely different time crunch because I have people coming over. So hopefully they drive slowly. Anyway, the next book that I have for you is How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran. This is a autobiography slash just general talking about feminism type thing from Caitlin Moran, who is a feminist activist and writer, and she's just generally a fantastic person. She's written a lot of books of this type, and I highly recommend it. I'm currently about 70 pages into it, and so far it's really, really good. Like in the first chapter, she talks about getting her first period and masturbating and stuff. So if you're not comfortable with just super blatant discussion of topics like that, maybe this isn't for you, but so far I'm really, really, really enjoying it. Next, I got On the Fence by Casey West. This is about a girl who's always been a total tomboy. She grew up with 3 brothers, and so she's not really super good at the whole girly thing, but when she gets a speeding ticket, she has to work at this super girly frou-frou boutique type place, and as a sort of coping mechanism to deal with all the drama in her life, she starts talking to this boy who lives next door to her through the fence. And from what I've heard, it's really cute and romantic, and I'm excited to read it because I loved The Villain Boyfriend by Casey West, and so I'm really excited to read what else she's written. Next, I got Proof of Forever by Alexa Hillier. This is about 4 different girls who went to summer camp together, and over the years they've sort of fallen out of touch. And then one year they go back for a reunion and get sent back in time to their last week of summer camp, and they have to sort of figure out how to recreate those last few days. I've already read this. I talked about it more in my book haul if you want to know what I thought of it. Next, I got More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. This is about a boy who is struggling with his sexuality in sort of a tough area of New York. I think he lives in the Bronx. And it has sort of sci-fi elements. It's really good. I already read it. I highly recommend picking it up. I talked about it more in my wrap-up. Next, I got Saga Volume 4. This series is so good. Again, I've already read this one. I talked about it in my wrap-up. This is just a continuation of a Romeo and Juliet type story, except after they've already met and fallen in love and now they have a kid. Across the universe, and it's so good, and I highly recommend picking up this series. It's totally worth all the hype it gets. Next, I got Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy by Sam Maggs, and this book is so pretty. Look at that. That's so cool. It looks so good naked. It's such a cool print. I love this book, like the whole aesthetic of this book. It's so cool. And there are lots of like pictures inside and drawings, and it's awesome. This book is just about fandom and feminism, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, with the past couple, I've already read it. I talked about it in my wrap-up. But it's definitely worth checking out if you're into sort of the fan aspect of the universe. Next, I got Crimson Bound by Rosamund Hodge. This is a retelling of Red Riding Hood, and I don't know anything else about the plot other than the fact that it's a retelling. And so I'm kind of going into this blind. But I read Cruel Beauty, that's what it's called, Cruel Beauty, by Rosamund Hodge, which is the previous retelling that she released, and that one's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and I really, really liked that. So hopefully this one lives up to my expectations and is just as good as Cruel Beauty. So I'm excited to pick this one up. Then I got Anything Could Happen by Will Walton. This is about a boy who lives in a small town and realizes that he's in love with his best friend, who is also a boy. I've already read this. I talked about it more in my wrap-up. I know I'm saying that for a lot of these. But I've been getting really good at reading things basically as soon as I buy them, so that I don't have like a super big growing TBR, which I'm really proud of myself for. But yeah, if you want to know more about it and more about my thoughts, talked about it in my wrap-up. I promise this is the last book that I've already read from this book haul. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing the phrase, I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that is Limor James Volume 1 by Noelle Stevenson and Grace Ellis, illustrated by Brooke Allen. This is about a group of girls who are at this summer camp, and weird things are happening and going on, and it is so funny. It's very humorous. The art style is a lot of fun, very colorful, and it's a good read. I've already read it, like I said, talk about it in my wrap-up. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I definitely think people should pick it up. Next, I finally got the box set of the new Percy Jackson books. These books are so pretty. They're gorgeous, and if you put them all together, they make a mural. I'm not putting that back in there right now. But yes, I finally got those. I love the Percy Jackson books, if you don't know. It's one of my favorite series of all time. And I'm really happy that I finally got that gorgeous box set. Alright, we're getting close to the end. The next book that I got is Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Pickle. Is it Pickle or Pico? I don't know. People pronounce it different ways. But it's by her and Samantha Van Leer, who is her daughter. And this is about a girl who is reading a book that's sort of a fairy tale type thing, when at one point she realizes that one of the main characters is talking to her and is saying that he's like trapped in the book, and she has to help try and get him out. And this just sounds so good. It sounds so cool. It basically sounds like every fangirl's dream come true. So I'm very excited to read this. I've heard absolutely amazing things about it. The next book that I got was Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. This book is about a group of beauty pageant contestants who get stranded on like a deserted island. And from what I've heard, this is amazing. Apparently it's really funny, and just sort of the entire thing is like commentary on like consumerism, and it's super snarky, and I've never heard a bad thing about this. I'm really, really, really excited to read it. And the last book that I have is not actually one that I'm going to read because it's not readable. But the book is Captain Sir Richard Francis Burton by Edward Rice. But it's not readable because it has a hole in it. Oops. So yeah, at camp this week, one of the craft projects that we did was we hollowed out books to make boxes, and and I just wanted to show it because I'm kind of proud of it and I think it's really cool. Alright, so those are all the books that I got in the month of June. I hope you guys enjoyed this book haul. If you guys got anything interesting that I should check out, leave it in the comments below. I love you, and I'll see you later. Bye!